where we start our process, okay? And we're going to walk you all the way through the floors. I'm going to do some of it, Stuart's going to take you through some of it, okay? And it's where we will start our maltings, basically. And we'll start with steeping. So we'll take you up there and we'll take you through our floors, okay? Take you through it all. Come on then, let's have a match. Let's have a nose. Come.
Lovely.
You can take photos? Yeah, you can take lots of pictures.
It's a lovely smell.
And you have on the floor, we want to steep it. Okay, so we want to add that moisture. You can feel it's quite damp. Okay, so we're going to put it in our steep. We're actually going to take you up there and show you the steep. Okay, so we're going to steep it over a 72-hour period. Over that 72 hours, we're going to steep it, we're going to drain it, and we're going to rest it. We're going to re-steep it, we're going to drain it and rest it. Okay, and essentially what we are doing is we are pumping about 48% moisture into the malt. Okay, and we're kick-starting germination. And what we're going to do over the next 6 days, while it's on the floor, is grow a small ball of starch in the middle. Okay? So, to get it on the floor, we are going to empty the steak through 3 plug holes that are on the ceiling. They'll drop them, they'll push the malt through, okay? It'll create 3 big piles. The guys, 2 men, will get their shovels out, their wheelbarrows out, and they will lay this floor by hand, and it takes them 7.5 hours to do it. Okay? Wow. Now, they're quite lucky for 20 weeks of the year to have a whisky school come in and give them a hand. Alright? They're not always that lucky. Those
I've heard about
school,
that.
folk sometimes don't want to work as hard as what we need them to work. Okay? But then you have other times, like we had a big group in about a week ago, and they laid, 7 of them, they laid half a floor in 30 minutes. They literally went for it. Okay, the boys were stood going, oh my God, we can't believe this. Okay, would you like that full-time job? This is amazing. So it really took the pressure off them on Monday morning. Anyway, we're going to get the floor on. Now, over the next 6 days, they're going to take care of the floor, okay? By turning and grubbing, turning and grubbing, turning and grubbing. And they do that every shift, okay? So they have a morning shift, a back shift, and a night shift, okay? So each shift they're going to have a turn, a taking care, and what they're going to do is they're going to knock off those little rootlets, okay, with the turner, and the grubber is just going to release the heat. And you can see that our temperature gauge is out there, okay? And they are keeping an eye on the temperature within that pile. The pile is between sort of 3-4 inches thick in the summer, and in the winter it's a lot deeper. So how we lay this floor is definitely weather dependent and time of year dependent. Okay? So doors and windows are our air conditioning and our airflow in here. So when it's very windy, cold, wet, and it's winter, they're all closed. Alright? And in summer, they're all flung open because we need it to sort of germinate. We need to release the heat as well. It's very warm in here in the summer. Perfect germination period. March, April, May. Probably. Yeah.
Say so.
And then after that, it's a fight. It's a fight with a floor of mold. Literally. You hear that sound? He's on the floor. He's lifting it off the floor. Yeah, you need that scraping sound. If you're not hearing that, it's not coming off the floor. What you're doing is you're flattening it on the floor, which then causes problems.
Hence why the slight nudge forward and
It's a
then
bit
continue, right?
So, we're going to get Sunday. we're going to lift this floor now. We've got 2 floors to contend with. We're going to take you up to our next floor. This is 13 tons. We're going to lift it, okay, on a Sunday. The guys are going to come in a Sunday morning on a split shift, so they'll go home halfway through the day. And before they go home, they're going to lift the floor, wheelbarrows, shovels, push it down like green crate. It's going to go up the bucket system in the red tube, and we'll hit the 3rd floor, go along the conveyor belt, hit the kiln, and hit the kiln floor. Now, when we talk about labour, you look at the floor and you think, yeah, this is quite easy, you could do this. Okay, so the guys who work in the Maltons, and Stuart can verify this, he did it for a long time, okay? He's my backup. Now, they've got 13 tons to weigh. They've got 11 tons to weigh. Not just lay, they've got to work it as well. They've got the kiln floor, and they work everything else in between as well. So they work the peat piles and the fires, and all of the dirty jobs in between. To all of the dust and the dust bags. So this is not for the faint-hearted. This is 24 tons, lift and lay a week, and the floor in the kiln as well. Okay, so we're going to head upstairs. We're going to take you along to the kiln and show you the kiln. Okay, no we're not. We're going to do the steep first, aren't we? We're going to do the steep first. We are going to show you the kiln, but we'll do the steep first. Oh my God. Yeah, but 5 pieces like that. Yeah,
Like Sunday night.
yeah. 2 days,
This machine here is the turner with the grabber, as you saw me there, that in here, those little rootlets, this machine can't sign off so it stops the seed growing.
Ah.
So basically, it's walk backwards, blades through the barley that way. So when we use the grabber, it takes maybe 45 minutes, up and down, up and down. With this machine it takes maybe an hour and 20 minutes.
Interesting.
Because we have to use cable on the poles, we have to make sure it doesn't cut the cable. Plus it's a lot heavier. You want to come and feel the weight? You want to come feel the weight? Come this side, come this side. Right, so you have to pull it towards you.
Oh. Oh. Quite heavy.
That means you have to up and down.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
So that cuts the germination route that ends?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
stops that.
interesting.
I've got it.
Because I thought that was the whole smoking, when you put it under the dryer, I thought the dryer kills those off.
No,
When
but
you-
this is during the germination process. If we left that, those rootlets would just start growing and growing and growing.
And they'll just bind to one.
They'll go
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
Like a carpet.
And then you could lift it and then that's it.
That's it, I see. That makes sense. I see.
So as the seed is getting bigger, we have to make sure we cut those rootlets off.
Ah, I see. Interesting.
So we did buy the new turner, but it doesn't work with the building
Really?
because it's too powerful for the electrics.
Oh, interesting.
So it blows the electrics every time we switch it on.
Oh, what a shame.
Unfortunately, for now, we just got to work with what we've got.
They're not using that now.
What are they using? No, that's
That 3-phase, I think, or whatever you call it. Yeah, yeah.
might have tried that.
So this is not your local barley. This is the normal barley,
This is the distiller's
distiller's barley, and the local barley is smaller. Hence the problems you have with it. Right? Correct. I see.
Yeah. We'll talk about that upstairs. Yeah.
Interesting.
Just watch for you.
It's very slippy. This is very slippy.
Shall we follow you?
Yes.
Go for that.
Oh, it's quite nice and soft.
It will be soft, but it'll be very slippy.
Yes, it is. Yes.
It's surprising.
What? Yeah.
It is like walking on ice.
Yeah.
It's like walking on marbles.
Yeah. We genuinely don't get a break.
No, I can imagine. You're famous.
Yeah, I am.
Oh,
So many long pictures of me in every. Right.
So is this a different batch, or is
Yeah.
this the first?
You'll see it. It's a lot drier. So
It feels drier. Yeah,
yeah.
because it's not as slippery.
Yeah. It's laid off is thin as well.
Ah, interesting.
Is this a bigger batch? Is this a bigger batch, guys? 10 tons. Feels like more, doesn't it? Oh, it's very thin. I never come on a barley bowl on Tuesday, so I never see it. It feels different.
It always feels wrong stepping on something that we're
I
going to
always
drink.
come up here at the end of the week. I'm saying I don't ever do a barley bowl on a Tuesday. That's why it feels a bit weird for me. So,
So this floor, as you can see the difference from the floor downstairs. So this floor went out last Thursday. So this will go to the kiln tomorrow, 6 days.
why is this 10 ton? No, 11. Oh, right, okay. I don't know why I'm asking you, Stuart. You're retired.
So this is that's basically just steeping. This is the water from Crystal Lock. That's all the water we use.
Ah,
Does it come in? Like this kind of
so it
brown
goes
color, or
in
is
here
it
before you put it out there?
Yeah, so we need to steep it before we put it.
How
We
long
need to
for?
add moisture.
Right, that makes
72
sense.
hours.
That
Yeah.
makes sense, yeah.
Until it comes from heat?
The lock will be the big
Yeah.
water flowing into the lock.
Yeah.
So it steeps for 72, drains, steeps again. So it steeps.
14 hours, 72 hours.
Yeah. Drain and rest, and then they'll re-steep it, drain it and rest it. So that's within that 72-hour period. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to not oversteep it. They need to just make sure they don't oversaturate it. Yeah. And then the moisture content should be absolutely spot on.
To eat an extra steak.
Yeah, you
yeah.
need an
Use
extra
local barley,
steak. It's a
you have
horrible
to steep
day.
it longer. Because the local barley is smaller, you have to steep it for another 10 hours. So
This is the local barley.
Yeah.
I hear that's a lot more laborious and
Yeah.
difficult to make, hence the
Yeah.
the local
There's a
barley.
lot of
yeah.
labour
more
involved.
swear words. When
Yeah, I can imagine.
A lot of swearing. There's a lot of
You should call your
smiling through
bottles local bottles after the swear words that you predominantly use.
Through gritty teeth.
So we have two silos outside.
10-year-old bottle of bastard.
The barley will drop down here. As you can see, it'll drop down into the steep. So the men will go in and they'll level the steep, and then they'll measure it to see how much is in the steep. So we have a very technical piece of equipment.
Ah, they're going to turn it over. Are they going to?
Yeah. So these are your maltmen basically.
All high tech.
So what happens,
Yeah.
the barley comes in, the guys are going to level it, then they'll drive the stick in. That tells them whether it's 10, 11, 12 or 13. Okay? So we used to get paid for every floor that we put out. But at the end of the period, the management found there's still some barley left in the bins. So they thought we were trying to get paid for what we were doing. So what was happening was we were digging the stick in and it was shorting at the end of the stick. Okay? So very clever gentleman designed that.
Is that what that's for? Wow.
Now we get the full 10, 11, 12 or 13 ton. So
Interesting.
just in case this gets lost or broken, we made it two. No expense spent. It's very simple, but it works. It's like a lot of things at Springbank. It's very simple, but it works. So we don't change.
Yeah. Doesn't need USB charging at all.
No. No.
Can't ever say that it's not
Don't ask me what happens if the two of them get lost.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We might need rallying a bit, but occasionally. So, does anybody know what the colours of the bowls are?
Yep.
Yeah,
It's a fair idea.
he's got a fair idea. Yeah.
the bottle, so.
It's the bottles, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We did it because obviously it's nice and cheery. Middle of winter's quite bleak here. The boys like to put the fairy lights on in the winter. Cheers to that. But they're also here for a reason. We have a Christmas fair. End of November, I think we have a Christmas fair here. And this side is used for foods and eating. Other side on the top floor is for Santa. So all the children come and visit Santa. And downstairs we sell all of our wares in town. So if you've got a stall, or you make stuff, or you have a shop in town, you bring it here and you sell it. So it's a bit of a local
It's a nice
Christmas
community
fair.
thing, yeah.
Very
nice.
community driven, yeah. There's probably about 1,000 people descend on the malt barns in about 4.5 hours.
There's no malt in the floors, right?
No, there's no malt on the floors. But it does feel a little crowded in here.
Aye,
Yeah,
sometimes
there's
it
a
can
lot
get-
of people in here. Yeah. It feels like about 10,000 people, but it's only about 1,000 people. And you can't get to buy anything because you know everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Try to buy stuff and keep. Right, so from here we're going to head upstairs. Upstairs is where we used to keep our malt up there, okay? So we keep about 100 tonnes up there at any one time. I'll show you a conveyor belt and take you into the kiln area, the top of the kiln, and hopefully we might be able to get into the Tuesday. Is the kiln on a Tuesday? Should be off, right?
Just out of interest, compared to your standard barley, how many tons of local do you get in comparison?
I'll tell you upstairs.
Okay.
Tell you upstairs, yeah. Got to leave
But
something
how many
for that
in
floor up.
total
There's
was this?
nothing up there.
Total of this was 10 here, 5 downstairs? 13 was it?
13 down, yeah.
Right, 13 and 11.
Oh,
This is
I wonder
10?
if
this is 11
was
and
it
there was 13 and they
10.
switch it from summer to winter because the weather
Okay.
conditions or
That
the
makes
climate
sense, yes,
is
yes.
different on these different floors.
So about 24 in total, basically, between two floors.
Chairman maybe, because yeah, good.
So this is where your local barley is
Yeah, so
normally.
we'll keep our local barley up here.
Different smell.
Yeah, it's totally different. It's very smoky up here. So we'll head across this way. We'll show you how we bring the barley in, so our local barley in. Stuart will show you how it comes in. This is Stuart's bag up here. I'll let Stuart do all the talking up here.
So this is where we used to keep all the barley. It would be maybe 100 tonnes on this floor. You come up the elevator here, go into this pipeline along here. As you can see,
Sprinkles down.
so this barley would be all the way around the corner. But a good few years ago the roof was leaking. So this is only sterling board floor. The floor was pretty weak, so they decided to stop using this for holding the barley. That's why the two barley bins outside. The roof has been sorted, and this is a good place to keep the local barley. It keeps it nice and dry, and it keeps it away from the distiller's barley. Because the local barley, we get 300 tonnes, 300 litres per tonne, but the distiller's barley we get 400 litres per tonne. So it's a lot more work for a lot less product. So if you want to follow me over here. Usually the barley would come along the line, come along to this part here, and it would come through this machine. This machine's got a belt through the barley over here. But we used to get 20 tonne. This year we've got 50 tonne. Because the local barley is very hard to get. There was only 9,000 bottles made last year for the whole barley. So it's,
Wow.
has anybody tasted the
Yes.
barley?
Yeah.
You got a bottle or was it just a taste?
No, I had a bottle.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
We haven't tasted.
I haven't tasted it. Well, I say to anybody in the tour, the best way to get a taste of local barley is get a job in the warehouse. Because they're always sampling.
Lucky them.
That's the best way to get a taste of local barley. Usually we get 20 tonne, but this year we get 50 tonne. I'm not sure what they're going to do with that, whether they're going to make more 10-year-old or more 13 or keep it for longer. So when the farmer cuts the field in September, we can keep it up here nice and dry. We used it this year and then it's up here for 6 months, nice and dry. As I say, it keeps it away from the distillery farm. The farmer used to say it was maybe 21 or 22 tonne, but when we started using it, it was maybe about 19 or 20, because when he cut the field, we got all the stones, all the dirt, all the dead animals, all the vegetation. We used to get that in here. There's one of the farms has got a small dresser, so he partially cleans it before we get it. And you'll be glad to know we clean it before we use it as well. But as I say, whether we're going to get 50 tonne every year from now on, because it's a good seller for the distillery. As I say,
So 50 tonne local, and then your normal would be normal barley. How many tonnes is that in a year?
24 tons.
well, it'll be 24 tonne a week.
Ah, right. Wow, what a big difference. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Do you sell the local barley to other distilleries? No.
We don't produce enough of that.
No. And a lot of distilleries don't do this anymore, do they? They just too much work for them.
There's a few. I mean, I know there's a couple in Iowa, but if there's a lot of work involved, you know, there is a lot of work involved. And for us, it's just another thing to keep us busy, I suppose, you know. And it's another product for our line. We don't have a huge amount to put on the shelves, and it does make really beautiful whiskey. It really does.
And again, so you listen to your customers, because that's people liked it, and from my understanding is you continued it. So that's
100%,
really nice. That's special. Yeah.
So this line here is sitting above the steep. The steep's directly below. This line comes from the silos outside, and the barley just goes into the steep. But for the local barley, the guys have to lift this, get that off, and then they have to shovel all the barley down.
Oh.
So that's when the cursing and swearing starts.
Yeah, and it doesn't stop for 3 weeks. Okay, but behind it, and you can come in and have a look.
Wash your head.
This is what is that? What's that tube thing?
It's a tube of green.
All right. This is a traditional.
Ah, yes.
All right, all
The
put in
belt.
black coat, yes. It's your conveyor belt. So your malt comes along, goes through the wall, and it goes into the kiln area. Do you want to have a look?
Ah, yeah. Wow.
So this is us standing above the kiln. You can see below us, there's some barley still in the kiln. So the two guys this morning would put half of that away, and the two guys will come in this afternoon and put the rest of it away. So what happens is, when the barley comes from the floors, it'll run along the conveyor belt here, and then it'll drop down here into the kiln. So the guys will go in and level it. They'll level it as evenly as possible, because we don't want a heavy bit or a light bit, because obviously the light bit would get dry before the heavy bit. So once the drying process is finished, we'll show you that. We'll show you that once we go downstairs. Move that back and forward and divert right or left into whatever bin we need. Okay?
Am I correct in saying this is a very old system?
This is a very old system, yes.
Like 100 years or so? Or?
Obviously bits and pieces been changed.
Yeah.
But this is, as you can see, this is built for very small Scotsmen to work in. So if the kiln fire was on and they were using peat, you probably wouldn't be able to stand in here.
I
because of
can
the smoke.
imagine, yeah.
Not good for your health to be in here at any length of time. So what would happen, the guys would come in, check everything's running smooth, and then sort of straight back out.
Do you guys use dry yeast or wet yeast now?
No, it's fresh yeast.
You use fresh yeast? Oh, very nice. Because a lot of distilleries I went, they use wet yeast. They have
dry
the
stuff.
yeast brought in liquid.
Aye.
it's a large cooperative that actually supply your malt, and we only know that because they actually come in for lunch and a few drams every year. They come in for, you know, to see where their malt
Sure.
comes, basically.
Quality control, of
Yeah,
course,
exactly,
of course.
quality control, yeah. So we fill our silo every 2 weeks.
Ah,
The truck comes in, the arm pulls out, and off we go. Now, we were talking about peat earlier. We've got 2 types of peat in the yard. It's very earthy. It's made up of decomposing organic matter. It sits in the earth for a long time, probably about 1,000 years plus. Now,
tastes good.
Aberdeenshire.
Ah.
Okay, so wet and dry for a reason. The dry lights the fire and the wet simmers it down. Okay? And that is what adds your flavour. It's going to create a lovely white smoke. Okay?
Oh, this
and
is-
it's going to add
Ah.
Get
that
that in as well.
to your
That's
yard.
like
Give that another-
dead wood.
Given that another 2,000 years, that would be peat.
Is that right? So the dead wood. Oh,
Like
interesting.
trees and heather and moss and stuff. That's the peat that we use.
Ah, I see. This
That's
has a
obviously
smell.
different from
This is
nylon
nice.
peat.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people ask us if we're just a museum, especially in the winter when we go into maintenance days.
Well, I've been a couple of places where they only have it as a showpiece,
Yeah.
you know, which is kind of sad. But
Yeah. Because that's your double distilled. So your Springbank's 2.5, very much a Springbank product. Double distilled is very Scottish. Yeah? We like our peat in Scotland, we like a lot of it as well. And that's going to create a ppm of about 47, whereas your Springbank is going to create, with 6 hours, about 27 ppm. Okay? Now, you can see on our blackboard, and we use blackboards here, there's no whiteboard behind that, okay? There's no Gucci whiteboard behind that, right? It's just the blackboard. You've got a Springbank lit at 1:59, then they turned the oil on at 8 o'clock, then they dug it out at 20:30, then they turned it off. And when I first started working here, I thought Doug and Pete were rogues, okay? They're not, okay? The processes. Doug is digging, okay? And I always thought Doug was a guy because my dad was called Doug, alright? So, they go up into that kiln, mid-heat, 65 degrees up there with a white suit on and a respirator, and they're going to turn that malt and they're going to release the heat and they're going to evenly dry it out, okay? And at the end of the process, they're going to go up with a modern moisture probe. There are modern elements to our job here. They need to make sure that moisture content in that malt is perfect. So, they brought it down over the week to about 40% on the floor. They bring it onto the kiln floor above, and they're going to bring it down to between 4 and 8% moisture, okay? So when the guys dig it off the floor, and they will dig it off the floor with the malt shovels, they'll push it through 2 small plug holes back up onto the same conveyor belt system, through into the bin room. It will have a resting period for up to 8 weeks, okay? So we're going to take you up to the floor, yeah?
Ah, nice. Does smell good, huh? So this is the dry area?
This is the kiln.
Kiln?
itself.
In the
See it
kiln.
underneath.
Wow.
This room downstairs, that'll fill with the smoke and the
Ah, right.
heat up through the floor. That's where we were before. Barley at the year.
Ah, yes.
Just watch the road trip over that. These holes here. This one, that one, the guys these shovel the barley down here. Then a different elevator comes up. So instead of coming in here, it heads into the bins. So as I said, the 2 guys this morning, they put half of this away. and the two guys in the afternoon they'll put the rest of it away. The heat up to the bottom. So they get in here to 65 degrees,
Wow.
and they're in here, so they've got their hazmat suits on and their respirators.
Okay.
They're only in here for 10, 15 minutes, and then out the spring for it's really, really hot.
So this is the finished. This is dried, ready now, is
This
it?
is ready to go. Well, this first part, that's already in the bag.
I see.
This is after 6 days of all this, right?
When we do a diesel burn production, you wouldn't believe this, guys actually come in with respirators on and their hazmat suits on. And in this pan of Russian and Hoover, we decontaminate the kiln.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
So, listen guys, from here I'm going to take you downstairs.
Okay.
We'll talk about the bin room, round to the Springbank computer, and then into the mill room, yeah? And we'll talk about milling. Quite a simple process. Okay, we're going to move our malt into the bins. It's going to have a resting period, okay, of up to 8 weeks. We're going to turn the bin on. We're going to move that malt along the auger, the corkscrew, so the big yellow tube, through into the next yellow tube, through the wall, okay, and it's going to push it into the mill. And we're going to run about 3.4 tonnes in about an hour and 15 minutes, okay? So your guy who's running the bin room is running your mashing and your mill as well. Okay, so you're running everything. And they're 3 separate rooms as well. So you've got a lot of work to do, a lot of sweating, alright? So we've got a Springbank computer in here. We're going to go take a look to see what's in the Springbank computer, okay? And then Stuart is going to take you right to the 3rd floor of the mill. It's a traditional mill, it was fitted in 1942. Okay, so it's been around for a while, alright? No jumping up and down the floors, alright? Come on, let's go. Right, so
This is the computer system, right?
this is it.
Is it antivirus? Yes.
Antivirus, doesn't need plugging in, doesn't need charging. There you go. This is our Springbank computer, courtesy of Stuart, 23 years ago. Very practical bit of kit. Now, does what it says in the tin, bin full and empty. Chipboard, perfect. And somebody's renewed the chalk, seen it the other day there. That's what we were working with. Somebody's replaced it.
Sustainability
Yeah, there you go.
without
Exactly.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah. So you can see here we've got 5 bins for Springbank. Okay, now we do Hazelburn at the start of the year, so that's a January production for 2 weeks. Then we're going to do Long Row for 2 weeks. Okay, so that's going to take us to sort of start of February. Okay, mid-February, and then we're going to go into Springbank production until mid-September. And then from mid-September, we're going to go into Kilkerran production, all right? So we're going to do our malting floors, store the malt here, push it through part of the mill, push it into a farmer's trough and send it up the road to Glengyle, Kilkerran. And we're going to make that beautiful liquid up there. And it is exceptional up there, I will say. Now, we do local barley, we talked about it, in the malt barns. 4, 5 and 6 are kept free around sort of March time, so that we're going to fill the bins, all right? Closest to the mill because it's a problem product, okay? Sticks to everything, very small, lots of bits in it, all right? So we want to keep it as close to the mill as possible. It gives us less headaches that way. So that is our production process. So you'll see HB at the start of the year, LR sort of February, and then SB for the rest of the year. That is our production process, okay? So Stuart's going to take you to the top of the mill, okay? He's going to take you through.
Oh yeah.
So what happens is the barley comes through here and then up the elevator right to the top.
Ah, I see.
every area's got its different smells.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
sort of.
I noticed. Yeah.
Up these stairs here as well, folks. So just mind this. Mind your head on the way back down, okay?
It's like the smell gets sweeter as you come up to this floor. That's interesting.
See, you're getting near the mill. You see, that's
Yeah, yeah.
where it's ground up.
This is nice. I love the old school stuff. Really nice. It does kind of smell sweet, yeah.
That's the sugar jar because we're getting near the mill.
Yeah, you can very much tell. I love it.
So if you want to follow me over this corner.
Careful of the grease.
So the barley is through next door in the bins. You come through here, up this elevator, and down this chute here. We've got 3 magnets in the bottom. That catches any nails, nuts and bolts, any bits of metal that's from its way into the barley. Because we don't want that going through into the mill, it could cause a spark. And distilleries and sparks don't get on the way together. So this is the dresser, this is where we clean the barley before we use it. Inside there's a drum which turns continuously. There's brushes at the top which clean the barley. In here the holes are very small, so any dust and any of those little rootlets that was on the barley seed, they fall through. There's a screw in the bottom which takes them into a bag, and we give that to the farmer and he feeds his chickens. Nothing gets wasted. So the barley continues to get cleaned all the way till eventually it gets to the end. So the holes are big enough for the barley seed to drop out.
So that's your screw, that's your drum, your brush.
So the local barley goes through this as well?
Little barley goes through this as well.
Does that have a problem with the holes being a certain size?
No, it seems to work okay.
That filter along,
That's one of the reasons as well for when we steep the distiller's barley, we steep it twice, but local barley steep it 3 times.
Does it expand more?
So that it absorbs more water.
Interesting.
You want to filter that way? You filter
Very
that
interesting.
way. Yeah, and it'll give everybody a wee chance to see. There's your hole in there. That should just, taking it
So we've got the dresser up above with the green barley in it, so we just open this.
So it's going to start filling up. It's going to fill with 40 kilo batches. We're going to do 95 runs, okay? It's going to hit the mill below and we'll take it through for production. Now, every counter that we do, and every batch that we do is counted up here on the counter, okay? It's run very, very traditionally, and we run it on a blackboard. That's how we do it, okay? And everything is counted. We'll put around to the other side of the blackboard. So you can see here, either or, you can come that way or you can come this way. It's up to you. So we've done what we're on Tuesday. So you've got your start of the week, okay? So we're doing a Springbank. This has come from bin number 7. You've got your start and your finish, and your number of coops. Now we're going to run our coops down through the week, because what we're going to do is we're going to end with nothing left in the bins, nothing left in the water tank. We're going to clean everything down, okay? So we're going to finish on a little bit less. So we would have ended on 2543 last week when we start on that, alright? And we're going to run down and we'll add 85 to that, 85 to the next one, 85 to the next one, and so on and so forth. And then 40 kilo batches, and that's your rollers here, your top and bottom rollers, and that's the pressure. So simple, as long as the boys don't forget what they're doing, they forget to write it up, we're good. But they can't go wrong because it's all on a counter. all on that counter here. 2638, 2638. That's the last run. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
So that'll go there, and so on and so forth. It's simple. We're going to head downstairs.
Good to hear it.
They've got the year right as well, yeah. Because, what was it, for the first 3 or 4 months? It was 2023.
Now you know where your missing whiskey's going.
So we'll head downstairs.
I love the note there.
Oh, that was Stuart. Yeah.
Even being in there, there's a bar get collects really, really fine.
Oh, I can see that.
Did that make
No,
No, it didn't.
Some other mug would.
Right, come with me. Come on. Right.
Oh wow.
Just watch your step, okay? We are running out of time. I don't want to rush this too much, but
Sure.
I need to have you in a dunnage at 1:30. There's a lot to get through in 25 minutes, okay? But I think you've seen the nuts and crux of the distillery, and it's areas where distilleries would never take you into, okay? And it's stuff that distilleries no longer do anymore, okay? But they do all of this bit, and you've probably seen all of this bit
Yes.
before, okay? So we'll brief this bit up, alright? So you've got Porteous patent, fitted in 1942. Our product's going to come through, okay? Top roller's going to break it down, bottom one's going to crush it into a product called grist. Now, this is a coarse product for us, it's quite a good product. Now, you've got 70% middles, 20% husk and 10% flour. We're going to push this grist product through into your mash tun. Again, a very old bit of kit. It's very Victorian next door, very much like our steep. Okay, 130-year-old. Now, this, we talked about sustainability earlier. We're not running for that here. Okay, we're not. So, our mash tun is not sustainable. Okay, it's not efficient, but it's very, very traditional. Okay, we need to do 4 waters. In a modern distillery, it would take 5.5 hours to do 3 waters. For us, it takes 10.5 hours to do 4 waters. Okay, it takes a lot of labour and a lot of energy, and there's a reason for that. All adds to flavour. Okay, and it's a very traditional way of doing it. All right, draws all those lovely sugars out nice and slowly. Now, we're going to push through 3.4 tonnes of malt. What doesn't go through the mill is collected in the yeast bags. We feed the chickens, as Stuart says. Okay, but all of this is going to go in through next door. Let's head through. You're more than welcome to touch this on the way through, but please don't eat it. Okay, the mice have been in here. All right. Anything in here? No. Please.
Oh yes. Beautiful.
Right, so we'll talk about our waters, okay? We've got 4 waters. First water at 17,000 litres, and we're going to do it at 63.5 degrees, okay? We're going to fill it right to the top. It's going to be very frothy. We're going to add that grist product. We're going to draw all of our sugars out of here, okay? There's a raven flour in there. It's called a steer, and it's going to go round, okay? And it's just going to help that extraction. We're going to draw that water down, through that red underback, up the paraflow, okay? And out to our fermentation room where we make beer with that product, okay? Now, we're going to do a second water of 6,000 litres. At 72 degrees. So we'll add your water, run this here, draw those sugars out, throw that water down, through your underback, up the paraflow and into the same wash back. Okay, that will give us on average 21,500 litres to make beer with. Okay, so we're all ready. Then we've got to do a bit of recycling. So we're going to do 15,000 litres,
add it in, we're going to draw as much of those sugars out. We're going to do it at 82 degrees, okay? We're going to take that water and we're going to pump it into a water tank, and that will go through the first water on the next mash run, alright? So a bit of recycling. What we're doing is we're upping our sugar levels and upping our alcohol content through the heat as well. Now, we need to do a further 6,000 litres, and this is a traditional solid cast iron mash tun from the Victorian era, and it's not self-cleaning, okay? And we need to get a big batch of 3.4 tonnes of this out there, and we're going to put 6,000 litres of water in there to do that, okay? At 82 degrees, we're going to drop all of those sugars out. We're going to push that water and that draft product through a pipe. We're going to gravity feed it up out onto the ledge outside. It's the drainer. We're going to leave the grist up there, okay? It's now known as draft. I call it porridge. Right? It just looks like a huge bowl of porridge. We're going to draw that water back in, alright? And we're going to take that and we're going to store that in a water tank, and that will go through to the second water on the next mash run. It's that simple. And this is cleaned out in about 8 hours time. That will be ready for its next mash run.
Oh, you can smell that. Oh, look at that. Hey, yeah. And the smell is lovely. Inside? That smells slightly different to the other places, yeah?
Yeah.
A little bit more yeasty or acidic. Potent, a little bit more.
What was it? A little girl said, it smells like smelly feet, Dad. Well,
But the good
you're
kind.
not bad.
But the good.
Wow, that makes me think that I like smelly feet. I love the smell. I do too. Like that's what I'm like.
Smelly feet's good.
She was 13. Yeah, she was a teenager there. She was going through her, like, she was having a little like, oh my god, this is disgusting. I was like, yeah, fair enough. I'll give you that. If you can't drink the whiskey, like, yeah.
Then it's difficult to appreciate.
It's like, yeah. And you're being dragged around your dad's. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got 6 washbacks. We've got 5 Scandinavian goatskin latch up to about 35-year-old. Okay. We've got 1 Oregon pine, 4-year-old. It does not detract from the flavour that is added. Okay. And this all adds to tradition and flavour. We talked about that downstairs. Now, we're going to gravity feed from underneath that lovely wort, now known as wash. Okay. Fill up. 21,500 litres. We're going to add Kerry M strain distiller's yeast. Okay. Now, we're going to ferment up to 110 hours, potentially longer. This is Springbank. Okay. When the boiler's not working, it's going to be in here for a bit longer. Okay. Maybe up to 130 hours. So beer content can vary. All right. Maybe 6.5 to 11.5%, and it just depends on how long it's been in here. Okay. Now, when we empty it, we steam clean, and you can feel the heat in here.
Yeah,
okay.
for sure.
They have. I don't think they've been steaming this morning. I think it's very warm in here this morning, but it gets very wet in here, and we don't use switchers. We use flow. Okay. It's not. It's just a soapy solution. It's not a carbolic soap or anything like that. That's what they would have used in the old days. So we'll head down to the spirit safe. There is a dram waiting for you. It's not a whiskey, it's new make. Okay, so go
the
down.
clear stuff.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk you through our distillation process while you're enjoying it. Okay? So if you head down, what is your low wine? Okay? And your low wines are oily, heavy, full of impurities, but they're going to come in at about 25% ABV. It's a really good body of alcohol. Okay? Now, That body of alcohol we're going to keep and we're going to store it in your low wine vat at the back. And when we're ready to take it through for our second distillation, we're going to take 8,000 litres of our low wine and we're going to pump it into low wine 1. We're going to boil it up with the steam. It will create a vapour at your swan setter, your lid arm. It's going to hit your one-tip condenser. Okay, it's going to come in here. You see it running through, it's going into your face. And it's coming in at 35% ABV, so we're getting stronger. Alright, we're going to take your face and pump them into your face receiver. Now we talked about Springbank 2.5, yeah?
Quite strong.
So, it's a 0.5 on the bottle, not in the bottle. Alright? Now, we have to put 0.5 on the bottle because that's the industry says we have to do. Now, in the bottle is probably about 2.75 or 2.8. Okay? So, we're going to take 80% cream, 20%
Smell the traditional
white.
Springbank. Little bit of the smell, but before the cast. I've seen some places sell this, but I wouldn't drink it. You like it? You would? It's fruity, very fruity.
Heads, hearts and tails, okay?
It's before any wood, any cast.
Alright, so we'll run your heads down for 45 minutes. Then we're going to turn it and we're going to run your hearts down for 6 hours from 76% to 60%. Then we're going to turn it and we're going to run your tails down to 1%. And we're going to take the head tails, we're going to recycle that into your face back. It's a constantly reused product and there's a reason for that. We only produce 264,000 litres of alcohol. That's across the board. That's including Longbow and Hazelburn. Okay? So yeah, that's our annual outcome. Okay? Now, we've got a big body of that. We pump it into our spirit receiver there, or our spirit bag, and then we will pump it into our spirit receiver next door. Okay? Which is our filling store where we're going to put into casks. And in 3 years' time, once for 4 minutes, come on. Get me on time. Tuesday morning's filling day. Okay, so before we fill, we are going to weigh in on our traditional area scales, and we are going to barcode as well. So we've always barcoded very, very traditionally, and we just use paint, okay, and hours, rollers, and it's always company name, the year, the product, the barrel number 1635. So we're almost at the end of production for Springbank. We'll probably make about 1900 barrels, I would say, this year, something like that. Campbelltown, nothing leaves Campbelltown until you purchased it from the shop. And this is our first fill, okay? So obviously a bourbon barrel. Because of the A, it's a first fill. Yeah, B, second fill, C, last fill. Okay? So, I would say this has been tightened up as well. Both of these barrels have been tightened up, haven't they?
That one looks loose.
They've clearly had a leak of some sort.
I've tightened up.
So we're going to roll it into our cask master. This is an automated pumping system, okay, from about 1970. It's a great bit of kit, okay. It's basically a pedal pump. It knows when your barrel is full. It'll click off, okay. So we can calibrate it to barrel size. We will pop the nozzle in. Oh, I'm trying this. There we go. Right. Fill it. I'll click off. We'll swing it back. Take our Hesse and our bung, tap it in. Thank you. And we're going to roll this out into the yard, and it's going to go and spend some time in a traditional dunnage or a racked warehouse, and then it will be rotated into either or a racked warehouse or a dunnage. So they'll always have dunnage time, okay? Everything has dunnage time here. And we're very lucky, we've got 6 traditional dunnages on site, okay? 2 1972 racked warehouses and 1 brand new warehouse. Stuart is going to take you across to a dunnage warehouse to drop you off for your drams. You've got 2 very nice drams. Those who are not drinking, you can stand and enjoy the atmosphere, okay? You've actually got driver's drams made up for you, okay? So I'll just let the host know. I'm going to go grab your host now. So if you would like to go follow Stuart, and I'm going to go get your host now for you. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, as you can see, there's lots of different sizes of casks in here, lots of different casks. All casks will spend some of their life in a dunnage warehouse. Lose 2% a year, and the angel share, it gets eaten by a fungus that's on the walls. That's why the walls are black. And we think that smell, we call it the dunnage fat, is back in through the wood, back into the cask. There was actually two guys from Belgium that came last year, and they owned a cheese making business, and they wanted a scraping of the fungus
To grow it for their.
to make a blue cheese, a blue Springbank cheese.
Now that would be interesting.
So we haven't heard from them
Amazing. I
since.
don't know how it would taste like. Funktown cheese.
So we don't know whether they're dead or millionaires. So
Dead or millionaires.
Did you let them do it?
aye.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I love these guys. I just say, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Right, if you want to follow me down here.
Better and better, yeah. Bye bye, thank you.
Hello, how are you all?
Better now that we've seen you, huh?
That's the right answer. I'm back.
32, huh? Nice.
Refill. The only way to taste this is to come on the
Talk, yeah.
tastings.
Yeah. Interesting. I see what it's doing.
One for me as well.
Absolutely.
It's good. It's good.
It's good.
Perfect. Well, make your way around.
So I'll be here while you blend your bottle, but basically it's your bottle, so you blend what you want. If you need to ask anything, feel free to fire questions up.